Let's talk about food, specifically the kinds of food that could literally kill you. I know, sounds dramatic. That's because it is. There are 7 of these edible little assassins, and we're starting with number 1, green potatoes. Yeah, the potatoes that look like they've been sunbathing too long. But good news, if you're on keto, you're probably not eating potatoes anyway, so you've already dodged that starch-loaded bullet. Party popper, congrats. You're safe from potato doom. Asterisk now, for the rest of you non-keto rebels, listen up. Green potatoes are a no-go. That green tint, it's not Mother Nature trying to be festive. It's a mix of chlorophyll and a chemical called solanine, which sounds like a pretty elf name, but is actually a nerve toxin. And not the fun kind of toxin like Toxic X. We're talking paralysis in a potato kind of toxic. Asterisk, it only takes 3 to 6 milligrams of solanine per kilogram of your body weight to start causing problems. And get this, green potatoes can pack somewhere between 30 and 50 milligrams of it. So yeah, not exactly a side dish you want to mess around with. If you absolutely must eat a potato, maybe you're emotionally attached to mashed potatoes, I get it. Just slice off the green parts like you're defusing a veggie bomb. Now here's something wild. The average American eats 1 potato every single day, which means half the population is probably making up for the keto crowd who's sworn off spuds altogether. But don't worry, it's usually not raw potatoes. It's the fun stuff. Chips, fries, tots, hash browns, basically everything that tastes amazing and breaks your willpower at 2 a.m. But even so, solanine is a natural pesticide that lives in potatoes, and if you get a bad batch or go full goblin on some green fries, side effects can include nausea, vomiting, internal bleeding, less fun, paralysis, coma, and yes, death. So bottom line, if your potato is looking like it wants to cosplay as the Hulk, toss it out. Your snack isn't worth a hospital stay. All right, number 2 on our foods that might murder you list, nutmeg. Yes, nutmeg, the stuff in your grandma's pumpkin pie that suddenly sounds way less cozy. Here's the deal. Nutmeg contains a compound called myristicin. Sounds fancy, right? Well, even at just 2 milligrams, it can give you a fever and a headache. Basically nature's way of saying, put the spice jar down. Now, crank that up to 7.3 grams, and you're not just feeling a little weird, you might actually start losing consciousness. Why? Because nutmeg starts moonlighting as a psychoactive compound. It mimics stuff found in some prescription meds. Yes, nutmeg can make you hallucinate. It's like that one friend who's totally normal until they hit tequila. Then they start seeing colors and arguing with lamp posts. True story. An 8-year-old once ate 2 whole nutmegs and tragically died. So yeah, this isn't just spice rack drama. This stuff is legit dangerous in high doses. So if you're baking cookies or sprinkling it on eggnog, easy, chef. Nutmeg should be used like glitter. A little goes a long way, and too much can ruin everything. All right, now let's talk about green raw almonds. You know, the ones that taste like regret, and their cousin, raw cashews. These bitter little rebels are known to contain a touch of cyanide. But don't panic just yet. You'd have to eat, oh I don't know, 1,000 of these death nuggets to really hit the danger zone. So unless you're planning a nut-eating marathon with a side of recklessness, you're probably safe. Or in measurement terms, about 50 ounces of bitter almonds. Again, not your average snack size. Still, just know that even a small handful comes with a side of microcyanide. So, word to the wise, skip the bitter ones and grab the sweet almonds instead. Even better, roast them. Once they're toasted, they're practically cyanide-free and just give you that warm, crunchy joy without the I might die part. But if you do decide to roll the dice and go cyanide snacking, here's what could happen. Convulsions, trouble breathing, and yep, death. Real party vibes. But wait, there's hope. Every great poison has a sidekick antidote. In this case, it's called hydroxycobalamin. Sounds fancy, right? It's actually just an over-the-counter B12 supplement. And the plot twist? It bonds with cyanide and forms cyanocobalamin, a safe form of B12. Boom. Chemistry. You can technically turn cyanide into a B12 supplement. But let's not make that your go-to-health plan. I mean, there's just something about, I got my vitamins from a near-death nut experience, that doesn't scream wellness. Plus, cyanide kinda ruins the vibe by destroying your cell's membranes and blocking oxygen like it's trying to ghost your entire respiratory system. Not ideal. The next culinary culprit on our list, undercooked red kidney beans, or as I like to call them, gut grenades. First things first, if you're going to cook red kidney beans, you must soak them for at least 5 hours like they're taking a luxurious spa day. After that, boil those suckers for at least 30 minutes. Whatever you do, don't throw them in a slow cooker and walk away. That's not a recipe. That's a science experiment gone wrong. Why? Because if you don't cook them properly, you can multiply the toxicity by 5 times. Not double, not triple, 5. The culprit is a compound called PHA. That's short for something you probably don't want to pronounce before coffee, but all you need to know is it turns your red and white blood cells into clingy besties. Like dangerously clingy. Side effects? Oh, just the usual. Diarrhea, stomach pain, vomiting, and yes, potentially death. But deep breath, that's only been observed in rats, not humans. Give a rat just 1% of this stuff, and it's lights out in under 2 weeks. So maybe don't invite rodents to your chili cook-off. And if you've got a pet hamster, gerbil, or overconfident mouse, keep them far away from your undercooked bean stash. Of course, if you're on keto, you've probably ghosted beans altogether. So congrats, you dodged this legume landmine. All right, let's move on to the next surprise health hazard in your pantry, brown rice. And yes, if you're on keto, you've probably already ghosted this carb bomb. But for the rest of the rice-loving world, heads up, brown rice has arsenic. Yep, arsenic. The same stuff you hear about in murder mysteries. It's linked to heart disease, bladder cancer, and a bunch of other delightful outcomes. Why is it in brown rice? Well, a lot of brown rice is grown in soil that used to host cotton crops, and cotton fields were basically soaked in arsenic-based insecticides back in the day like they were marinating a salad. So now, that contaminated soil is passing on the love to rice. Turns out, brown rice can contain 162 times more arsenic than what scientists consider probably don't eat that. And here's a plot twist. Arsenic was once added to chicken feed to fatten them up, all in the name of food efficiency. Translation? The chicken got so fat it stopped eating. It wasn't hungry anymore. It had leveled up from poultry to poultry balloon. Now, to be fair, most companies stopped doing that around 2011. But don't quote me too hard. There might still be a few rebel turkey operations sneaking it in. Before that, oh, no big deal. Just a casual 70-year streak of arsenic-marinated livestock. So yeah, chances are we've all been exposed to a little arsenic. But hey, if you've been a loyal fan of organic chicken, you're probably doing just fine. How can you tell if you've got arsenic issues? Look at your nails. If you see horizontal white lines, that's your body waving a tiny white flag. Now don't panic. There's help. You've got a few arsenic-fighting heroes, blue-green algae, selenium, and zinc. These nutrients play a role in enzymes that help your body say no thanks and escort arsenic out the door. All right, let's talk about everyone's favorite health gamble, uncooked bloody hamburger. Yeah, I know it's gross, but if you're grabbing the cheap, sketchy meat from your local discount grocery aisle, we need to have a serious chat. You see, you could be getting a free side of E. coli, and not just the regular kind. We're talking about the toxic VIP guest called VTC, virotoxigenic E. coli, which can crash your kidneys, throw you into sepsis, and if it's feeling dramatic, put you in a coma. Worst case scenario, you'll be resting in peace next to your raw burger dreams. Here's what you do. Buy high-quality beef. If it came from a cow that lived better than you, you're on the right track. Cook it properly. Like, don't just wave it over the grill and call it done. If it's mooing on the plate, it's not ready. Now, where does E. coli even come from? Brace yourself, it's the cow's intestines. Yep, the literal poop zone. During processing, if things go sideways, your burger might inherit a little more than flavor. Now for dessert, let's talk cherry pits. Cute little stones of doom. Yes, they contain hydrogen cyanide. I know, you eat the cherry, not the pit. But sometimes one slips in, especially if you're a fruit snacker on the go. If you're on keto, you've probably already broken up with fruit. But just in case you make up with cherries and accidentally swallow a pit, listen up, 1 red cherry. Pit equals 3.9 mg of hydrogen cyanide. 1 black cherry pit equals 2.7 mg. The drama queen of the group, the Morello cherry pit, clocks in at 65 milligrams of cyanide. Now, Toxicity kicks in at around 0.2 to 1.6 milligrams per pound of body weight. So if you're on the lighter side, say 100 pounds, and you swallow a single Morello pit, you're way past the danger zone. Like, I see a bright light, danger zone. Symptoms? Oh, the usual: abdominal pain, nausea, headaches, and if you're extra unlucky, death. Yeah, maybe don't treat cherry pits like snacks. That wraps up our list of sneaky foods that could actually kill you. Now, if you'd rather learn about the healthiest foods to save your life, I've got a video for that too, and it's right here. Go check it out.